Good morning and welcome to Gulfstream today on this beautiful Saturday afternoon. Brian and Samantha with you here on a 10 race card today. Got a fast track, really just a great day for racing, Brian.
Yeah, it's a lot of excitement. Of course, Travers Day at Saratoga, and so many of the championship meet horses are up there, and Mage and Forte and all that. So, of course, Arcangelo too. So a lot of excitement. We've got a big day here. Silks is popping already with the early post at Saratoga.
Yeah.
Tacos and tequila here as well. 10 races and a good stakes too. And, of course, the Rainbow Six is getting up there now too.
It is, yep, and these are still good days to play it because it's possible for just taking this down, especially on a day like this where it could possibly get overlooked a little bit. It starts race 5. Brian's going to have a ticket for that, but kicking it off in the opener, it is the early pick 5, and Brian also has a ticket for that.
Take a look at it now. We've got 2-year-olds in the opener, so I spread a little bit, maybe a little vulnerable field and maybe some vulnerable favorites in there as well. In race number 2, 3 deep with the 4 Frosty, the Soldier on top, a 2 deep 13, 1-3, Lang Lang, my old buddy Lang Lang, my long shot today, and there's a pretty key scratch in there, so she's going to get nicked a little bit, but she still should be a square price. In race number 4, how surprising on top for me, the 4 horse, and in race number 5, my best bet of the day. I think you need to get some value on the Skipper too, because I can't possibly see him anywhere close to 7-2.
Yep, I agree. $36 the play, and opening the card with 6 furlongs on the fast main track. It's good to see that we've got a fast track here today. There's no scratches or changes out of this spot, and you go to the 6, who's taking surprisingly a lot of early money, but this horse is actually flattered a bit because Esperon was a very solid winner yesterday in the maiden special weight event, and take it away with Saint No More.
Yeah, good point. Well, I think we get experience here, and you at least, when we get him behind us here, you'll be able to turn around and give a look at him. I like the experience edge. I like the post position here too, and I got to be honest with you, I like as much that he might be facing 2 horses that are going to get bet very hard. That is the 1 and that is the 5, and that me personally, I think very vulnerable. I'm certainly not going to play a real ticket without self-sufficient, and you can talk about him now, but I'm going to try to beat him.
Yeah, and this is a beatable horse. He's Rapoli owned. They paid $260,000 for this horse as a yearling. That's pretty impressive here. You don't usually see Todd leaving a lot of 2-year-old firsters here over the summertime. And I've got a stat I found. We'll pull this one up here. It's just an interesting, it's not flattering.
Nope.
So 1 for 9, just 11% with 2-year-old first-time starters at Gulfstream. This is just in the past year.
Right.
It's just Sturkin is that only winner, by the way.
Wasn't he 3? He was still 2. So
he was it was at the end of the year.
And that was at the championship meet too. Now this is not a big sample, and Todd typically doesn't leave horses here. It's great to see the barn here, and Anthony as well. But I feel like if you had a conversation with Mike Rapoli and you said you're going to be debuting on August 26th, it was up I-95 in Saratoga Springs, not here. So and try to beat this horse today.
Yeah, he is beatable. I think just the fact the class alone on him could put him in the winner's circle. Say No More has had a couple tries. The 1 Holiday Pay. This is a horse that the dam won first out, and these are solid works for Safi Joseph.
No, absolutely. I mean, I don't like the rail, but again, we get expert connections here. Safi had a night last night at Charlestown. Great to see. Awesome Slew stands for 4. They paid $62 for this horse, so you'll be able to tell the folks a little bit more when you get a look at him. But I would assume he looks pretty good.
Yeah, but it's a good sign here. The rail's always a bit problematic, but we'll have at it. Race number 2, it's the early pick 4. I've got a ticket that I put together here, a little bit of a rework kind of all day for me. It's $9. The 7 on top. We'll get to this race in just a second. Race number 3, that's my single Martinis Amica. I love this horse on the stretch out. Race number 4, my top pick scratch out of this. I scratch into the 6 Sky Hooper with some speed. And in race number 5, the 4 on top, the Skipper 2 as well. It's cool. We got the stake race, the feature race in the early pick 4 and the pick 5, and kicking off the Rainbow 6.
Oh, yeah,
it's a big day today. So this second race here, 7 horses, condensed field here, Brian, but nonetheless, these Tapeta races at this level can be a bit tricky.
Yeah, I don't have anything clever. Frosty the Soldier, 5-2 on the morning line, which looks good to me.
Yeah.
I don't know. We're lightly raced. We've got upside. Seems to be, got a tactical gear that'll play out here. Seems consistent too, and I think you
Yes.
and I probably almost ad nauseum to people. We tell how horses struggle to be consistent on the Tapeta.
Yep.
Seems like Frosty the Soldier is okay with it.
Yeah, for me, the 7 North Carolina, this is a horse I picked last time as
Yep.
a long shot, and I probably will be today as well. I like the way that he hasn't lost his speed. He hasn't done well to hang on to it, but that was 2 turns that he hasn't done in a little bit of time. So, well, a couple months at least. But I'm just going to give him another shot from the outside.
Well, I'll say this. He's 1 for 19. He is what he is. But I do feel very confident in saying the rail last time, and we talk about that a lot too. It was definitely not the place to
Right.
be on August 6th, and he never got off of it. So.
Yep, and that can play a huge difference. Race number 3. It's a mile and a 16th on the Tapeta. It is a claiming $8,000 event as well. We scratch the 4 out of this spot. It leaves a field of 7 remaining, and the one for you, Lang Lang.
Yep.
She's a big filly.
Yeah, and so maybe 2 turns is okay here. We do scratch the 4 at 3-1 on the line, so we're
Kinda changes things.
Yeah, it changes things, but we're still supposed to hope and think we're going to get 10-1 on Lang Lang. She's been good to me. She was my long shot when she won. I didn't think she ran that badly last time, Samantha. I know it's just not really a pedigree that screams 2 turns, but again, we talk about this a lot too. When you're looking long shots, you want to find a group that you're not supposed to be scared of anyone. Well,
Yep.
you're picking, you're back with Martinez Amica, so you're agreeing with what I'm saying.
Exactly.
I mean, why Parchita is 7-5 in this race? I mean, she was terrible last time.
Yeah, it's hard to trust. And I will say this about Lang Lang. Although she may not be bred very regally to go 2 turns or just in general, she's such a big filly. And I like the 2 turns for her here. They tried the 1 mile on the dirt. It didn't work out for her at all. I kind of thought she would take to it okay, but she didn't. And now we know she likes the Tapeta,
Right.
and now she gets the 2 turns.
Yeah, exactly. And she's down inside, and I think the fact that she's been chasing, sprinting means she'll be a little closer routing, which I think is beneficial too.
Yeah. Martini's Amica, this was an 0 for 26er last time. I am a huge proponent in betting against horses winning back-to-back races or trying to play them back. But this is a filly that she has needed 2 turns. I've been dying to watch her get 2 turns for the last 4 starts. She finally won at 5.5, but what I like is the connection said, no, you know what, this is a 2-turn filly. Let's stretch her out.
Yeah, absolutely. And sometimes when the light bulb goes on a little bit, they pop right back.
They
So
do.
I don't necessarily know if this is your average 1 for 27, or if you want to take a hard-headed approach and you're 12-1 on the line, she's going to be a price too. No, she's 1 for 1 to me, and she finally broke through last time.
Yeah, the 2 Krabby, we've got a stat on Jose D'Angelo. This is another horse that just broke her maiden as
Yep.
well. This is with maiden winners last out just on the Tapeta here at Gulfstream. 8 for 30, 27%. That's a pretty big stat. And I know yesterday Jose D'Angelo blew your stat out of the water.
Yeah, by a scant nose.
Yeah,
But,
it still was.
why be 0 for 24 when you can be 1 for 25? I don't know. Krabby was 20 cents on the dollar last time, and she made everybody. There was no easy money last time. She
No.
made everybody sweat. So, and Jose's got the 8 as well, and Parchita.
Yeah.
It's like, well, she stunk at 5.5 last time. Let's try her at 8.5. No,
And that might be a good move for her.
it might be, but
Yep.
she was really good for 2 starts in a row, and I didn't see any reason why she was terrible last time. So.
This is a tricky race, and as you can see from our picks, you're allowed to think outside the box
Absolutely.
with a spot like this. Now, race number 4, it's 7 furlongs on the fast main track. It's a main optional claiming event. We take out the 3 top Maverick. It's a 6-horse field remaining here, and we'll kick it off with the replay because you pulled this one up, and we'll take a look at it.
Yeah, this is How Surprising. He's a sick. Now, Belts and Boots Brooks is in here as well, and he runs on a little bit last time. But watch what happens to How Surprising. He just completely gets pushed out here on the turn. He only loses by 3/4 of a length, and he took him a little more time to level off, I think. And I feel like if he didn't get floated out there, he's going to really come on strongly at the end. And I feel like, and there's Belts and Brooks at 2 as well. He runs on too, by the way.
He does, yeah.
I feel like if he didn't get floated out, the difference needed to be 3/4 of a length. I think it was significant enough. It
is.
probably cost him the W. We still got upside here. He's lightly raced, so we'll land with him.
And he's getting some extra ground.
I think that's significant
That's
too.
huge.
Yes.
That you can tell from the replay. That's something that he definitely needs. Now, the 6 Sky Hooper for me, this horse is trying the distance for the first time, but this horse has got speed, and that's going to be dangerous here.
Well, certainly, and Amicio aboard as well. So, second time Jose D'Angelo, second time off of a freshening too, and he came back. He ran very, very well last time, and I like the fact that he was a month clear of the third place finisher too. So it was a good race.
It really was, and we've got a firster here also for Terry Pompey. This horse actually scratched a couple weeks ago. Sonic Good Magic. I like the fact that he gelded, and he worked okay. I remember I actually pulled up this work before he was scratched a few weeks ago, and he just worked okay at the Fasig Tipton May sale. Lasix goes on for the first time. Sometimes this barn can be sneaky with firsters.
Yeah, Terry does such a good job basically with everything, but she's 0 for 15 now at firsters, so at least in the last year.
It's adding up.
Yeah, it hasn't been part of the program.
Yeah.
So I would say take a wait and see and maybe get this horse next time.
Yep. We're going to get to race 5 in just a moment. It starts the Rainbow Six, but first we're going to take a short break. We'll be right back with you.
And they're off.
My Racehorse has opened up a door for people that felt like that door would have never been opened for them.
We can all be owners and we can all get that excitement.
You can meet your horse through the different experiences and all of the events that My Racehorse puts together. You get that hands-on connection.
Whether you have $50 or $500, everyone that joins My Racehorse gets that experience of a lifetime.
I love My Racehorse. Let's go.
Welcome back to Gulfstream today. Brian and Samantha with you here on this 10 race card. It's a beautiful day here in Hallandale Beach. A lot of good stuff happening around the country. We've talked about it, and we'll talk about it again at Travers. And we've got our video out if you check our socials to hear some thoughts. We've got a front row seat to a lot of these horses during the championship meet. And exciting day, but even more exciting, Rainbow Six. Brian's got the ticket.
Heck yeah, and this is probably not for the faint of heart because we got to rip the Band-Aid off right here. It just happens the best bet is in this race, so that's what we got to do. In race number 6, we'll go. I lost a lot of second place picks today, but not only one scratch. So Cosi, the 8, always was on top for me. In race number 7, the 6, Smoke and Bow on a drop for Kathy Ritvo. In race number 8, there's your spread in the sequence. The 5, Elat, and we'll show the replay there. Another single in race 9, and I did not have Slim Slow Slider on top, but I kind of sort of think he's got to win now with the scratch of my top pick and your top pick for that matter.
Yeah.
Rod to Rod, and 3 deep in the finale with down inside Morissa. And we'll show you a replay the last time Morissa routed on Tapeta. So there you go, 2160. I'm not going to advocate for people playing a large ticket today.
Yeah.
I don't feel confident in saying I don't think there'll be singles maybe at the end. This is, to me, the type of ticket, and this is why I like the Rainbow 2, though. You play the 2160, and maybe you turn that into 700 or 800, and you're
exactly. You've got it's a little bit of money, walking around money. Del Mar later, Travers later. Yeah, you've got it down. Yeah, we'll be here with you throughout the day. So, an incredible race to kick off the Rainbow Six. It's a 1-turn mile on the fast main track. No scratches or changes. The Edwin T. Broom Memorial, you enlightened me on him yesterday, and we both have the same pick on top. Yeah. I'll let you go first.
Well, Eddie passed away about a year ago as well. Won over 1,200 races. A couple of them are graded stakes races or horses as well. So it's kind of cool that we've got a race for him.
Yeah.
To me, it's just right there in front of you with the skipper, too. You draw a line through the Birdstone, but the fact that Brian and Arundel, they brought him up to Saratoga to try his stakes speaks volumes.
Yeah.
And I think today it's twofold for the skipper, too. I feel he's going to like the mile better. Yep. I think he's perfectly drawn to be outside, big and classy. Mm-hmm. And I think also that he might just be as good as good as big and classy has been. He's been beating groups that I'm not positive are up to the level of the skipper 2. And I'm not going to put the skipper 2 in Dean Delivers level by any stretch of the imagination, but that's the one horse that broke the winning streak of big and classy. Yeah. So, and you're not he's not going to be anywhere near 7-2. So I think you got to single him, or if you like him, that's how you got to get your value.
Yeah, especially in a race like this. And this, honestly, that was a really strong race. The Birdstone, that horse next, that is just a freak at that distance. Yeah, and this horse, the 1 1/16 here, this horse runs once on the thoroughgraphs, and nobody else is doing that here.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be favored, but he's going to be closer to Big and Classy than he will not be, and he'll certainly be lower than Long Range Toddy.
One, Big and Classy. This horse has won his last 7 of 8 starts. He has never tried this distance. Let's pull up the replay, and I'll let you take it away. Do you think the distance is a problem for him here?
Well, here's my point, okay? And I'm not going to you're going to see, I'm not going to beat up a horse that comfortably wins this race, but he also had to win this race, okay? Watch what happens here. He's just like, hey, come on through. We'll let you through, and then he's gone. Now, he wins easily, so golf clap to him, but he just couldn't not win this race, is the point. So here's my thing about the mile. I don't necessarily know if it's going to be a problem, but what I do feel very confidently in is that it'll level the playing field between him and the Skipper 2. And I don't really think the Skipper 2 is that far behind Big and Classy regardless. But at a mile, I think they're very similar to each other.
I agree.
And the rail, by the way.
Yeah, that could be a problem for him. I know probably Bobby DeBono's not happy at the draw with that. It can be tough, but Lionel Reyes, he's as good as anyone here right now, and this horse, I don't think it would surprise us if he won.
Oh, absolutely not. No. And he's the horse to beat, don't get me wrong. And he'll I think the good thing is they'll probably bet him really hard.
They will.
Maybe that will eke us out I would take $6 on the Skipper 2.
Yeah. Long Range Toddy, this is an interesting.
Cool. Yeah.
This is a really cool horse. I talked a lot about him before he ran here on July 16th. This is one that I used to gallop for Steve Asmussen way back when, before he even broke his maiden. He's running in every big party there's been. He just always shows up, but it's just been way too over his head lately. They gave him some time, trainer switch, and he came back in a good way.
Oh, he really did. You can't poke holes in that effort at all. It was a really, really big effort. It's not going to threaten, though, Big and Classy or the Skipper 2.
Doesn't seem like it.
Doesn't seem like it. And I know it's second off the layoff. I know it's second time with Victor Barboza. I don't see how this horse moves forward. He ran really hard last time.
Yeah. And he's one that, he's 7. We've kind of seen all of the tricks in his bag, so he's more just kind of a level horse to me.
I think he's coming back a little bit today.
Yeah, it's very possible. It's a great edition of the Edwin T. Broom Memorial, a great race in remembrance of a solid trainer. Now, race number 6, late pick 5, 1 1/16 on the Tapeta. I've got my ticket for everybody, and again, this was reworked. We'll get to this race in just a second. I had a big problem with this race. Hopefully my partner can help me out with it. Race 7, this is my best bet of the day, first team. Race number 8, the 5 on top for me, a scratch into Elot. Race number 9, I scratch into the 4, 5, 5, 6 Champ, and in race number 10, the 7 on top for me. AJ's Memory for Jose D'Angelo. 40-50 the play here. And this 6th race is all of these fillies and mares have beat each other.
Gang is all here. So let's show you. We got go out Dancing with Daffodils is out, oddly enough.
Exactly,
and she's been in such good form.
Yes.
So what we've got left is Cosey's down inside. We're going to show you the first turn first. Good work here, guys. Thank you. Appreciate it. She just doesn't like being down in there. I don't think there's any doubt about that. You're going to see her get a little aggressive. She's a little rank. She wants to fight a little bit. I think she wants to run, and she can't because there's stuff going on in front of her. Now we're on the backside here. And so now with Dancing with Daffodils, this is also, by the way, this is Cosey's last race, okay? She's still down inside. Some of these gals, they all came back and ran again, but they were in here as well. So I'm willing to give her a pass for this race.
I think you can.
I think you can. Now, it's hard to claim off Bobby D and improve, but who can do it? Probably Victor Barboza, because he's 30% off the claim, and I like the post position swap today, I think is huge.
It is, and also, like you said it, this is so important. A lot of these horses have ran since then.
Yeah.
This horse has had some time under Victor Barboza, and Victor Barboza does this. When he got long-range shot, he turned the horse out.
Freshened him up.
Yep, and left him in a pasture for a little bit. These are moves that set kind of Victor Barboza away because he claims a lot of horses, but he's not always that eager to just, boom,
Yeah.
get him right back in. So I think this horse is going to be a huge player here. I went with the 2. I just like the fact that this is a reclaim for Jose D'Angelo.
Well, we like that angle a lot,
Yeah.
and so Jose wanted to go back in and get this horse. This horse has speed. She doesn't have to be on the lead.
Nope.
And I think actually the good thing for her is Awaka's down inside and
Yes.
she's stretching out, so she's going. Okay,
Exactly.
and that is going to really help Runaway Breeze because now I think she's going to have a target, and she's going to be 2-path pressing. I think they're stalking for that matter. I think that's a good spot for her.
It is. It's a good way to kick off the late pick 5. I highly suggest this could be a spread race. Now, race number 7, it's a 1-turn mile. It's a claiming $25,000 level for 3-year-olds or 4 and up, which have never won 2 races. We scratched the 3 and the 5 out of this spot. You've got a ticket.
Yeah, we'll let it go. We'll
Okay.
post it on Twitter,
Great.
and we got things to do here. It's just a run back of the rainbow.
Perfect. So the 6 for you, Smokin' Bo. You're going to have to talk me into this one.
Well, this is a dropper here for Kathy Ritvo, and she's freshened him up a little bit. And you look at the races he's come out of; they're much better. And I don't really, honestly, think he's all that far behind these on paper either. Unfortunately, a couple scratches are going to nick his price, but he's sitting there at 8 on the line, and he should be 5 or 6 in here, and that's a square price. Now there's some pace that comes out of the race with
Right.
Big Bucks a lot coming out.
Yeah, and that kind of changes the dynamic a little
Right,
bit.
right. So maybe he's going to have to hustle a little bit earlier, but this he has never been in against a group like this.
No, he hasn't. The 8 for me, my best bet of the day.
Okay.
The winner was so good, 5.56 champ. We'll see him 2 races later, so kind of take note of that. He was not ever going to beat 5.56 champ, and this horse, I think a lot separated between him and Dream of Blessings, and he was quite
Sure.
wide as well.
He was. So he's going to get a good trip in here
Yeah.
today because he's just going to be off the speed of whoever does go. Maybe Nowinski goes now, or maybe he goes. I
Maybe
don't
he
know.
does,
Maybe
yeah.
Jesus Rios just says, you know what, I'm probably on the best horse here. Let's go.
Yep.
I don't like the 1 for 15, but he's amazing. If he can get back to that last race, he's the horse to beat.
Yeah. I think Knox could be a bit of a sneaky horse that we haven't trusted as much lately, but this is probably the softest spot he's ever faced.
Well, I don't disagree with that. I think he's dressed up a little bit because
Okay.
his two, we'll call them big figures, they were against just 3-year-olds. And the one time
Fair
he was
enough.
in against older horses, I know it was a decent group. It was a good group. Let's be honest. It was a good group of Florida-bred optional claimers. He got beat up pretty good.
Yeah.
So he's kind of a fade horse for me today.
That's fair, and it'll be a short price to do so. Now, race number 8, it's a late pick 3, 5.5 furlongs on the Tapeta. Take out the 4 Damaso in this spot. It's a field of 7 here. We'll pull up the replay of Elot. I scratch into this horse, but was your top pick,
Yeah.
and Hector Diaz Jr. gets aboard.
Yeah, what happened is Eli was just chasing the entire way, and this is the trip he's pulling here, and so you can kind of get an idea of what's going on. And the horses that were with him were well behind, and she never ever got a split second of breathing room. Cajun Fantasy is 6-5, completely fried as well. The race completely falls apart here in deep stretch. We're not going to take it out that far, but point being, that's a terrible spot for that horse to be in with the 6-5 favorite laying on you the entire way. Well, now we're outside. I would assume the 2 Greytana's going, and now Eli can sit a much better trip.
This horse is just, she should trip out really nicely in this spot. And she was coming off of a win last time and first off the claim, so it could have just come back to her a little bit, and they didn't give it to her easy at all. And
No.
she'll be a big player here. Now, the 2 Beach Ready, 3 wins in a row.
Yeah, it's tough to knock, or the 3 Beach Ready, right? Yeah, and
3, yeah,
now
pardon.
we're off the claim for Colin Mirage, who's crafty, but boy, good luck improving off Ruben Sierra, who hasn't done anything wrong all year.
Exactly, and it's interesting because they're cutting this horse back as well.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. The 2 Greytana, she's got speed.
You'll know where to find her.
Yeah.
Facing winners, though.
And that's always a very tough task to do. Now, race number 9, it's a mile on the fast main track. We scratch the 2 Rod to Rod. You scratch out of that horse as well. Yep. So reworked. I really liked Rod to Rod. I kind of don't have a very strong opinion in this race anymore. Now, the 7 Slim Slow Slider is who you elevate to first.
He looks about 3-5 in here
Yeah.
now. I was trying to beat him with what we thought was a clever horse. I don't think you're going to have to talk about the top two because he's 3-5 now with the scratch, I think.
He is. I find him a little bit hard to trust.
Okay.
That's fair. I mean, Positive Review was so good last time. And Second ID, 2 starts back. That horse is freaky for Safi Joseph. 556 Champ. I just think that I like the way that this horse won last time, and Liz Dobles claims him.
Well, no doubt, Liz in the corner is a big deal.
Yeah. But he could just not be as good.
That's kind of what I'm thinking,
Yeah.
and I also think he's got pace problems
Yeah.
because Awesome Flay is going. I'm assuming he's pressing, and that means he's in a sandwich because Slim Slow Slider's not letting anybody get away early.
Right.
So he's going to have to run hard every step of the mile.
Race number 10, the finale on this 10-race card, 1 mile and a 16th. It is on the Tapeta track. It is for maidens, 12-5 level. No scratches or changes out of this race here. And the 1, Mo Rissa for you. You've got a replay, so let's go ahead and
Yeah,
pull it
this is the 2 starts back. The last
Okay.
time Mo Rissa routed on Tapeta, and that's all I really care about because that's what we're doing today. She's the 10, and you're just going to get the trip here. We're just going to show you through the first turn. And talk about a better post position today. She's just way out there the entire way. She's
Yeah.
a little ranked, too. It's like she didn't like this. Look at she's almost like,
Yeah.
get away from me, okay?
Yeah.
And then it's just nothing's going to get much better from here. She gets pushed out even more. Now we're inside. We're back to Peta routing, which I think that was her best race showing. And
Yep.
it's a wide open race, and she's going to be a decent little price in here.
Yeah, she certainly will. Angel Morales gets a little bit of a weight break as well. The 7 who I have on top, you've got second, Jose D'Angelo. This was not the plan for this filly. I'm sure of it, claiming her for $16,000. An interesting claim as well for Bruno Schickendas, but I'm not going to question. He's leading trainer at leading owner so many different places for things like this. Has some time off. I don't know.
Yeah, you got to try it. I don't know. To me, again, it's one of these horses. I'm certainly not playing a significant ticket without her, but I'm not running to the window. It's a better either.
It's second start on the Tapeta routing as
Yeah.
well, so maybe that'll help. That's our 10-race card on this Saturday afternoon. Don't go away. We've got our world-famous lightning round, and kicking it off with some very exciting news. Well, not really news, but even more so.
Footage.
Yes.
There we go.
Seeing green.
Yeah, look at that.
Look at this.
Oh, my goodness. Turf looks incredible. They've done a great job with it. It's coming. We don't have a date or anything like that, but you can see it there. Great job with the camera work here as well,
this
guys.
is beautiful.
It is coming sooner than later, so we are super excited about
And
that.
added an extra lane as
Yeah.
well. It looks great. This is super exciting, and yeah, that's
Yipper.
it. Best bet for you today?
Skipper 2.
Okay.
Ending the earlies and kicking off the rainbow.
Hey, there you go. It's solid. Mine is first team a little bit later, and a long shot for you.
Old Lang Lang.
Lang Lang. She'll be every bit of 20-1. Yeah. I lost mine, so no worries there. And if you're betting with ExpressBet like you should be, we've got a pretty nice promotion here that if you hit the pick 4 or the pick 5 on Travers Day, which is today, you can make a little extra cash.
Yeah, how about that? Free money if added on to your winning, too, by the way.
Exactly,
So that's
yep.
always a good thing.
It is. Yeah, it's a huge thing. And just piggybacking off the Travers as well, again, a huge field.
Yep.
I dove into it even more so last night. And Forte, Archangelo, Tappet Trice, Mage, and Scotland all right behind us here at Gulfstream Park.
Yeah, in the championship meet, you see it there about 6:15, and stick around if you're here today as well. You know, Silks is popping, and there's a lot going on. Archangelo for me, and of course, trainer Jenna Antonucci, the first female ever to win a Triple Crown race.
Yeah.
And I think you're one to the left with Forte, right?
Yep, I am. But Archangelo will be very, very tough.
Yeah.
It's an exciting day of racing here. We're happy to have everybody aboard with us. If you're out, come say hi. We'll be with you throughout the whole day. Pete Aiello, though, will also be with you, and he'll guide you through the scratches and the changes on the afternoon. Good luck.